Welcome to Design Code Debug Repeat. My name is Maggie and I'll be your host for this quiz. This quiz will help you test your knowledge, find your weak areas, and retain more. This is the Lesson 3 Python quiz. The topics being quizzed are augmented assignment statements, while loops, for loops, accumulator or gatherer and most wanted holder variable roles, sentinel loops, input validation loops, off by one errors, and the Python range function. Let's put 10 seconds on the clock, and remember, you can always pause the video and take your time if a question has you stumped. There are 20 questions. The first 10 are worth 1 point each. Question 1. Fill in the blank for a loop that will print the integers from 1 to 10. I equals 1, while blank, and then indented, print I equals I plus 1. Is it A, I less than 10, B, I less than 11, C, I equals 10, or D, I greater than 10? The answer is B, I less than 11. If we want the loop to print I when it's 10, then we'll need the loop entry condition to evaluate to true when I is 10, and then be false for the next iteration of the loop when I is 11. Question 2. Fill in the blank for a loop that will print the integers from 1 to 10. For I in blank, print I. Is it A, 1 to 10, B, range 10, C, range 1, 10, or D, range 1, 11? The answer is D, range 1, 11. The range function will generate values from start up to but not including stop. The default start is 0. Therefore, we need to include a start of 1. And to have the loop run through 10, we must make the stop 1 greater than 10, 11. Question 3. Fill in the blanks for a loop that will print the even integers from 2 to 10. Blank, while blank, print I, blank. Is it A, I equals 2, I less than 12, I equals I plus 2, B, I equals 0, I less than 10, I equals I plus 2, C, I equals 2, I less than 10, I equals I plus 2, or D, I equals 0, I less than 12, I equals I plus 2? The answer is A, I equals 2, I less than 12, I equals I plus 2. The initializer test and updater of the loop control variable need to work together so a loop executes exactly the right number of times. This code prints the value of I at the top of the loop, so we must initialize it to 2 if that is the first number we want printed. We want 10 to be printed, so we must enter the loop when I is 10. And we will add 2 to I each time through the loop, so only the even numbers are printed. Question 4. Fill in the blank for a loop that will print the odd integers from 1 to 9. For I in blank, print I. Is it A, range 1, 9, 3, B, range 0, 10, 2, C, range 1, 10, 2, or D, range 1, 9, 2? The answer is C, range 1, 10, 2. The odd numbers are every other number starting at 1. This range starts at 1, up to but not including 10, in increments of 2. Question 5. What value is in I after this code executes? I equals 0, I plus equals 1. Is it A, 0, B, 1, C, both 0 and 1, or D? This is not a legal operation. The answer is B, 1. The first line gives I a value of 0, And the second line adds 1 to the current value in I and stores the result back in I, giving I a value of 1. Question 6. Fill in the blank for a loop that will add the integers from 10 to 15. Total equals 0. For I in range 10, 16, blank. Is it A, total plus equals 1, B, total plus equals I, C, total plus equals total, or D, I plus equals total? The answer is B, total plus equals I. Total starts at 0, and we want to add the next value from 10 to 15 to it each time through the loop. That value is in the variable I. Question 7. Select the range that will generate the values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is it A, range 1, 5, B, range 5, C, range 0, 6, or D, range 1, 6? The answer is D, range 1, 6. A range generates the values from the start argument up to but not including the ending argument, and the default step or increment is 1. We therefore start the range at 1 and end at 6, so it will include the value 5. Question 8. Fill in the blank for an input validation loop. Age must be 18 or older. Age equals int input age, while blank, print that is not a valid age. Age equals int input age. Is it A, age less than 18, B, age greater than 18, C, age less than or equal to 18, or D, age greater than or equal to 18? The answer is A, age less than 18. We enter an input validation loop when we have bad input. Age greater than or equal to 18 is the expression that will be true when the input is good. So its complement, age less than 18, will be true when input is bad. Question 9. How many times does this code print hello world? I equals 0, while I greater than 10, print hello world, I plus equals 1. Is it A, 0, B, 10, C, infinite, or D, 11? The answer is A, 0 times. The code that prints hello world is never reached because I is given an initial value of 0, and then we test if I is greater than 10. It is not, so we skip the code in the loop body. Question 10. How many times does this code print hello world? I equals 0, while I less than 10, print hello world, I minus equals 1. Is it A, 0, B, 10, C, infinite, or D, 11? The answer is C, infinite. I is given an initial value of 0, so the loop entry condition, I less than 10, is true. We then go into the loop, print hello world, and decrement I. Instead of I ultimately reaching a value of 10, I is always less than 10, so we have an infinite loop. How are you doing so far? Comment your score on the first 10 questions below. Now we're going to have 10 slightly trickier questions on the same topics. These questions are worth 2 points each. Ready? Question 11. Fill in the blank for a loop that adds integers from the user until they enter -1. Total equals 0. Num equals int input number or -1 to quit. While blank, total plus equals num equals int input number or -1 to quit. Is it A, total greater than -1, B, num greater than -1, C, num equals -1, or D, num not equal -1? The answer is D, num not equal -1. In a sentinel-controlled loop, we often have a priming read, a read before the loop header, and an updating read at the end of the loop. The condition in the loop header tests that the value being input by the user is not the sentinel value. Question 12. What is the value in num after this code executes? Assume the user does not enter 0. Num equals int input, enter a number. Num divided equals num. Is it A, depends on what the user entered, B, 0, C, 1, or D, this is an invalid operation? The answer is C, 1. The statement num divided by equals num is equivalent to num equals num divided by num. When we divide a non-zero number by itself, we get 1. Question 13. Remove the break from this loop while preserving its function. While true, num equals int input number. If num equals -1, break. Is it A, num equals int input number, while num equals -1, num equals int input number? B, if true, num equals int input number. C, while true, num equals int input number. Or D, num equals int input number, while num not equal -1, num equals int input number. The answer is D. We have a priming read, a test that the number is not the sentinel, and then an updating read at the end of the loop. This preserves the meaning of the while true loop, which breaks out of the loop if the value entered by the user is the sentinel. You should never write an infinite loop with a break inside the loop. Always write your loops so the header communicates when they will execute. Question 14. What is the value in total after this code executes? Total equals 0. For I in range 10, for j in range 5, total plus equals 1. Is it A, 50, B, 49, C, 10, or D, 15? The answer is A, 50. The outer loop executes 10 times, and for each of those executions, the inner loop executes 5 times, meaning the code adding 1 to total executes 10 times 5, or 50 times. Question 15. How many times does line 2 execute? 1, I equals 0. 2, while I less than 5. 3, I plus equals 1. Is it A, once, B, 4 times, C, 5 times, or D, 6 times? The answer is D, 6 times. The loop header, where the condition I less than 5 is tested, will be executed when I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The last time, the condition will be false and will exit the loop. Question 16. Fill in the blank for an input validation loop. The age must be at least 18 and no more than 64. Age equals int input, enter your age, while blank, print that is not a valid age. Age equals int input, enter your age. Is it A, age less than 18 or age greater than 64? B, age less than 18 and age greater than 64? C, age greater than or equal to 18 or age less than or equal to 64? Or D, age greater than or equal to 18 and age less than or equal to 64? The answer is A, age less than 18 or age greater than 64. In an input validation loop, we enter the loop when the input is invalid. In this case, an invalid input value will be either less than 18 or greater than 64. Question 17. If the inputs are 10, 20, 32, 1, and 14, fill in the blank to ensure largest holds 32 when the loop finishes executing. Largest equals 0 for I in range 5, num equals int input number, blank. Is it A, if I equals 3, largest equals num? B, if largest greater than num, num equals largest? C, if num greater than largest, largest equals num? Or D, if num greater than or equal to largest, num equals largest? The answer is C. If num greater than largest, largest equals num. With a most wanted holder pattern, we compare the value most recently encountered, num, to our most wanted holder variable, largest. If num is bigger, then we replace largest with num. Question 18. What is the value in I after this code executes? I equals 0, while I greater than 10, I plus equals 1. Is it A, 0, B, 9, C, 10, or D, undefined? The answer is A, 0. We initialize I to 0, and then we test if I is greater than 10. It isn't, so the loop isn't entered, and I still has the value 0. Question 19. Select the range that will generate the values 99, 96, 93, 90, etc. down to 0. Is it A, range 99, -3, -3, B, range 99, 0, -3, C, range 100, 0, -3, or D, range 100, -3, -3? The answer is A, range 99, -3, -3. If we want the range to begin at 99, we use 99 as our start value. We are decreasing in steps of 3, so -3 for the step. That's the third argument. If we want to include 0 in the range, we must go beyond 0 for our stop value, so our stop value must be at least -1. Question 20. Fix this loop so it prints hello world 10 times. 1. I equals 1. 2. While I less than 10. 3. Print hello world. 4. I plus equals 1. Should you A, set I less than or equal to 10 on line 2? B, set I equal to 0 on line 1? C, set I less than 11 on line 2? Or D, any one of these will work? The answer is D. Any one of these will work. We need the initializer, test, and updater to work together so the loop executes 10 times. There are many ways to do that. Let's have a bonus question. This one is worth 5 points. This code is designed to total 10 numbers entered by the user. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. What's wrong with this code? I equals 0, total equals 0, while I less than 10, I equals int input enter a number, total plus equals I plus equals 1. Is it A, total equals 0 should be in the loop? B, total plus equals I should be first in the loop? C, you need a different variable for the input? Or D, nothing, it's user error. This is a tricky one. The error here is C. You need a different variable for the input. Because you're reading user input into the variable I, if the user enters a value of 9 or higher, the test I less than 10 will be false and the loop will end. This could happen with the user's first input, or their input sometime while the loop is executing, or they could always enter numbers below 9, so the loop executes 10 times. You should never use the loop control variable for something unrelated to loop control inside a loop. How'd you do on the quiz? Comment your score below and ask follow-up questions to anything that doesn't make sense. I'll answer questions asked in the first week the video is live, and others if I'm able. As always, have fun and keep coding.